This is it. This is part 3 to my top 50 prospect list. We're into the top 10. Let's do it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're into the top 10. The top 10 was really difficult. And I want to say the top 6 was pretty easy, but that 7, 8, 9, 10, super difficult. Probably arguably the most difficult part of this entire prospect list for me. And I definitely have some bold predictions in this top 10, especially to start it off here. Super excited to show you guys what I got. I've had some really good feedback through the top 40, like literally just a couple things here and there that people are like, no, I'd probably rank this guy higher, maybe this guy a little bit lower, but really nothing bad. No one's been like, Ryan, you're an idiot. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. See if we can keep it going through the top 10. We'll see. But excited to jump into it. We're going to try to make it quicker today just because it's just 10 players. So let's do it. If you like this video, please get a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of my top 10. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Maybe a player should be in. Maybe a player should be out. Let me know. Let's do it. Prospect number 10. So this is where we left off. We had Brett Baty at 12, Brennan Davis at 11, and number 10 on my list, and this is a bold one now. It wasn't bold, and now it is based off his play this year, but Nolan Jones plays for Cleveland's AAA team right now. Super weird not saying Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Guardians AAA? Yeah, that just sounds weird. But Nolan Jones, 2016 second rounder, 55th overall. Big kid, 6'4", 195, third baseman, outfielder, ton of power from the left side. He's 23 years old. Everyone, including myself, thought we'd see a debut from him this year. Still might at the end of the year, but his performance this year just hasn't been like vintage Nolan Jones. He's been one of the most consistent players over his minor league career on this entire list. Like, as you can see, over 429 games, even with this struggle season of this year. He's got a 396 on base percentage and 50 home runs. Just super consistent, and that's why he's still in my top 10. I just think there's something wrong with his swing. That 221 is just not normal for him. He still has a high on base percentage, 342, 120 points above his batting average. Like, I'm not mad about that at all. 11 home runs, which is about on pace to what he had last year. So power's still showing up there, decent amount, but I just think there's something a little off with Nolan Jones this year, clearly, with his hitting. And, you know, I do think his plate discipline is going to carry into success at the major league level. And that's why he's in my top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if when he debuts, he does really well. Because I do think he's a professional hitter. I think he is ready. I just think he's struggling this year. And once he inevitably fixes his swing, like, I have zero concerns with Nolan Jones. That's why he's in my top 10. He's just been super consistent. He got dropped down a ton for this year's performance. But I'm keeping him in my top 10 just because I think he's going to translate very well to the MLB level. Moving on to number 9, same first name, Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals, AAA right now. First rounder back in 2018, third baseman, second baseman. I think he even has a higher ceiling at second base, especially with his power upside. Like, absolutely love him at second base. But he's a big kid, 6'1", 210. He's only 21 years old. He's an Arizona boy, so, you know, I'm always rooting for my Arizona boys. He's just been pretty solid throughout his career. And this season, first time in AA and AAA, you know, he's doing solid. 270. I'd like to see his on-base percentage be a little bit higher. 330 is not great. And 792 OPS isn't crazy, but I love the 17 home runs. Like, his power has been very consistent. Like, I think tonight, like, as I'm recording this video, he's like triple shy of the cycle. Like, he has those gigantic games that just shows his ceiling. And I think his offensive ceiling is top 10 worthy, and that's why he's at number 9. I just think those huge games can become more consistent as he becomes more mature in the box. And I think he's going to have a good MLB career. I really do. I think he is going to be a huge name in that Cardinals organization. Like throw him behind Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, and then Nolan Gorman. Like, sign me up all day for that. He's going to get all the pitches in the world to hit. Moving to number 8, Zach Veon, Colorado Rockies, former 9th overall pick in 2020. This is a bold one for me. Nolan Jones was bold because of his performance this year. Zach Veon, bold prediction for me because his playing experience, his professional career is only 86 games long, and that's all from this season. Big kid, 6'4", 190. He's only 19 years old. And when you look at his season stats and his career stats at that, 298 batting average, 394 on base percentage, 908 OPS, 14 home runs, and 30 stolen bases. You know, pretty solid, right? But check this out. Through the first 2 months of Zach Veen's professional career, so 46 of those 86 games, he was hitting 265 with 2 home runs. Wasn't hitting well. Didn't have any power really to show for anything. He had a couple doubles. He had 13 doubles, 2 triples. And since that, his last 40 games, Zach Veen is slashing a 335 batting average, 400 on base percentage, 1039 OPS, and 12 home runs. He's been on absolute fire. He should be in high A by now, but that's why he's in my top 10. I think the ceiling's there. Like 12 home runs over a month and a half. I could see it. Like, Zach Veen has that potential. That ceiling is why I have him at number 8. And it's good to see him playing the way he has because I was legitimately concerned. So I think the ceiling is extremely high. He's in the right park to have a successful career. He's going to be hitting in Colorado. So I'm confident with Zach Veen at number 8. Moving on to number 7, CJ Abrams, San Diego Padres AA system right now. He got hurt this year, unfortunately. He fractured his left tibia on a slide into shortstop for like a double play, and he got taken out. It wasn't pretty. It was in the 9th inning too, which was even worse. So that ended his season. So only 42 games this season. CJ Abrams is someone that's just absolutely crushed the minors. And this year he came down to reality a little bit in AA, 296 batting average, which is still great. You know, almost hitting 300, 363 on base percentage. Can't get mad at that at all from a shortstop. 782 OPS. You know, he's not a huge power guy. 13 stolen bases over 42 games. Like, he flies. That 80 grade run is ridiculous. He is arguably the fastest player in the minor leagues. But he came down to reality a little bit, and this is what I see him doing more often in the pros, which is still a great line. Like, it really is. And it's going to complement Fernando Tatis super well. Like, it's going to be ridiculous. But there's also the upside. Like, there is still a chance that CJ Abrams at 6'2", 185 puts on weight and hits for more power. So CJ Abrams, he lands at number 7 for me. And a lot of people have him ranked in their top 5. And I totally understand that. I think CJ Abrams' floor is higher than some of these guys in the top 5. But I think his ceiling's lower, and that's why I ranked him at number 7. Number 6, Riley Green, Detroit Tigers, AAA. Just recently got promoted to AAA. Former 5th overall pick in the 2019 draft. He was the second high schooler taken behind Bobby Witt Jr. 6'3", 200. He's only 20 years old. He's been awesome in the minor leagues. Over 143 games, 287 batting average, 368 on base percentage, 21 home runs. Riley Green is a legit 5-tool player. He is very good at everything. His defense is incredible. Like, I think he can win Gold Gloves there all day in any outfield position. He has shown success everywhere out there. But then he has the upside to potentially hit like 40 home runs. So it's ridiculous. I actually have him in my most recent weekly column for Sports Card Investor. I compared him to Ken Griffey Jr., which I know it's a reach, but I haven't seen a 5-tool player like Riley Green in a long time that could potentially live up to some type of hype like that if he pans out at the MLB level. I think Riley Green's extremely consistent. I think he's super good. I really do. And obviously very high on him. And I can't emphasize the 5 tools enough and just how important they are. Like, if he has a bad day hitting, like, he's probably going to make a diving play in the outfield. If he has a bad day on defense, he's probably hitting like 2 home runs. So Riley Green's just one of those players to me that, you know, has superstar written all over him. And I think he's going to be a huge part of that Detroit Tigers offense next year. Moving on to number 5, same organization, ASU boy, Forks Up. Spencer Torkelson, third baseman, first baseman. He's a first baseman in college, played a little bit of outfield as well, but he was drafted as a third baseman, and he's actually done pretty well at third base. Like, he hasn't been terrible over there, which is awesome to see. But he's in AAA. Him and Riley Green got promoted both to AAA at the same time. Former first overall pick in the 2020 draft, 6'1", 220, 21 years old. Best college hitter I've ever seen. I watched him live a ton here in Tempe. Just an incredible college hitter. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, he was 10 times better than every pitcher he faced, it seemed like. And this year he's been consistent. 83 games over his minor league career. This is obviously his first season. 281 batting average, 395 on base percentage, which I love to see from a college player going straight to AA and AAA. Like, absolutely love those numbers. 19 home runs too, with emphasis of going from metal bat to wood bat for the first time at a pro level. That's extremely impressive. I knew his power was crazy, but I did not expect him to have 19, 20 home runs in his first pro season hitting wood. It kind of just shows that it's going to stick around. Like, regardless, he's going to be hitting for power, and I love it. I love it. Like, I was expecting like maybe like 15 home runs this year, like max, adjusting to wood for the first time. And he's exceeded that, and he looks really good. So Spencer Torkelson is in my top 5 because his ceiling is ridiculous. That 70 grade power, it wouldn't shock me if he hit 60 home runs at one point in his career. That is how good he is at hitting home runs. It is ridiculous. He has really good plate discipline. Like, I think he's going to walk 100 times, multiple times in his career. I'm very high on Spencer Torkelson. Call me biased, whatever you want. But I think his ceiling is crazy high. He's only 21 years old and looks like he's going to be on the starting roster next year. So, Spencer Torkelson, number 5 for me. Moving on to number 4, Marco Luciano, shortstop for the San Francisco Giants. He's currently in High A, 2018 international signee. Marco Luciano, in my opinion, has the highest ceiling in the minor leagues. As much as I wanted to put him at number 1, I just couldn't, and I'll get to that. So Marco Luciano, this season, he's doing pretty solid. 260 batting average, which, I'd love to see a little bit higher. 350 on base percentage, which is not bad, especially for a shortstop. 868 OPS is fine. 19 home runs. The dude's power is crazy. He grades out at 65 power. And for a 19-year-old to have 19 home runs, that's incredible. He just got moved up to High A, and he is starting off slow there. And that's kind of what teetered me a little bit. And that's probably nothing, a slow start in High A. He started off kind of slow this season too. And then he just went crazy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Marco Luciano. But I truly believe he has the highest ceiling in the minor leagues. His power is ridiculous. This is a player like Fernando Tatis right now could be in 2 years. Just putting it out there. And let's just say everything goes perfect. Marco Luciano pans out, hits his ceiling. This dude's hitting 50-plus home runs easily. He could hit 60. His power is nuts. So I do think he has the highest ceiling. Not saying it's going to work out that way, but that's why he's at number 4. It's just crazy. His talent level is nuts. He's huge. He's only 19 years old too. So I can't even imagine what 2 more years of developing is going to do for him. And then probably debut at 21 years old or 20, depending on how fast he can move this offseason and what the Giants want to do with him. But that's why he's at number 4. Moving on to our top 3. Number 3, Bobby Witt Jr., shortstop, Kansas City Royals. He's in their AAA system right now. Former 2nd overall pick in 2019. At the time, I thought Riley Green was the best pick out of high school. Bobby Witt Jr. is kind of contesting to that right now. He's having an awesome year this year. His first year was super underwhelming. He only hit 262 with 1 home run. So it was very underwhelming for a 2nd overall pick. It was like, what the heck? This dude was supposed to be one of the highest graded high school players ever to come out of a draft. Well, this year he's living up to it because he's already in AAA. He started the season in AA. He's now in AAA and over 86 games, 291 batting average, 364 on base percentage, 944 OPS. So just an awesome year. 25 home runs. 25 home runs. Absolutely astounding, especially coming off his first year. We only hit 1 in 2019. Love it. Absolutely love it. Bobby Witt Jr. plays awesome defense too. Look at his grades, 60 across the board. He's so good at everything. He's going to be a star. I have zero doubt in my mind that he's not going to be a star. And that's why he's at number 3 for me. I think he's awesome. Moving on to number 2, and this is going to give away who number 1 is, but number 2, Adley Rutschman for me, catcher, Baltimore Orioles. He's recently got moved to AAA, former 1st overall pick in 2019. So we have 2 1st overall picks in our top 5. With Spencer Torkelson and Adley Rutschman. But Adley Rutschman, similar to Spencer Torkelson, he might even been a better hitter than Spencer Torkelson in college. 6'2", 220, 23 years old. So he's a little older going to college. It sucks how much going to college can hurt you. But Adley Rutschman's good enough to where it doesn't even matter. He's going to come up at the end of the year this year. If he doesn't, I'm going to fight someone. But over 86 games this year, 284 batting average, 397 on base percentage, 916 OPS, and 19 home runs. Anyone questioning Adley Rutschman's power and the ability to find that power consistently has been thrown away in the trash can forever. 19 home runs is awesome. So now that the power thing has been figured out completely, let's just talk about what else he's good at. He is insane at switch hitting. He has a lot of power from his left side, lower batting average, but from the right side, he has less power, but he's a better hitter. This year, as a right-handed batter, he's hitting .377 with a .489 on base percentage and a .1230 OPS, along with 6 home runs over 95 plate appearances. Like, the dude rakes from the right side, so he's such a good switch hitter. There's just not a lot not to like. And, you know, if he decides to have a bad game offensively, he is freaking awesome at catching. 65 grade. He can absolutely call a baseball game. I think his first game in AAA, he caught like a one-hitter. So the dude knows how to call a game. He's very good defensively, and he's an awesome switch hitter. It was so hard not to put him at number 1. Like, honestly, I switched these top 2 at least 4 times before I officially made this video. I switched it literally before this video even got posted. That's how close I think it is. But the number 1 prospect on my top 50 prospect list, hitters only, give me a little J-Rod. Julio Rodriguez, Seattle Mariners. He's just recently moved to AA, 2017 international signee. He's 6'3", 180, which that is a complete lie. I would love to know how much he weighs, because if he weighs 180, I weigh 400 pounds. Looking at J-Rod, I would think he's like closer to 215. He is a big kid. He's only 20 years old. He played in the Olympics this year for the Dominican Republic, so that's why he only has 45 games. He missed a lot of time to training with the Dominican team, but he hit like 420 in the Olympics. Absolutely killed it there. And over 45 games this year, he's doing his thing. 309 batting average, 406 on base percentage, 951 OPS, 9 home runs. The dude has just annihilated every single level he's been at. And even in spring training, when he's facing major league pitchers, he was hitting tanks. He looked so good in spring training, where it's like, even I was like, just bring him up. Who cares? He's that good. Bring him up. Let him struggle. This is a player I would let struggle, and I don't even think he would struggle. I think Julio Rodriguez, if you brought him up tomorrow, he would find a way to succeed at the pro level, because that's just how good he's been. Over 188 games, 319 batting average, 398 on base percentage, 935 OPS, and 26 home runs. The dude has silly pop. He's just a huge kid, and it seemed like anytime he connects to a ball this year, it's leaving the park. Before he went off to the Olympics, he was putting up crazy power numbers. It was ridiculous. And then obviously traveling, going back and forth, you know, that's going to affect you on some level, right? He's still hitting 309 with a 406 on base percentage. Like, it's been awesome. And even moving into AA, I think he's hitting like 270. Like, that's really good for your first time in AA over like first like 7 or 8 games. I can't remember how many exactly, but he's been just solid there too, and I expect him to just get better and better every day. There's just really nothing to hate on about Julio Rodriguez. Like, if there's anything to complain about, someone let me know, because he's good at defense. He has an awesome arm. He's not slow. He is an insane hitter. There's a reason I have him at number 1. Like, to me, he's the best prospect in the minor leagues with an insane ceiling. I said Marco Luciano has the highest ceiling, and I do believe that, but J-Rod's right there. Ridiculous ceiling with J-Rod. And he's bigger than Marco Luciano, so maybe he has a higher ceiling. And the only reason I say he doesn't is because Marco Luciano's power is stupid. But Julio Rodriguez is right there. Like, it's Marco Luciano and J-Rod for me. It's like, if one of those hit their ceiling, like, they're going to be the next gigantic star in the MLB. Obviously, anyone I put in this top 10, I think, isn't a superstar. Like, I think they're going to be extremely good at the MLB level. But Julio Rodriguez, number 1 on my list, just because I just don't see him struggling at any level compared to some of these other guys. Him and Adley, I think, are going to be awesome as soon as they get to the major leagues. I could see other players like Bobby Witt Jr. and Marco Luciano maybe struggling a little bit. Maybe taking a little bit of time to get warmed up to the major leagues. I think Julio Rodriguez and Adley Rutschman, as soon as they get there, like, they're going to be so successful. And I think the other guys are going to be successful too. It's just a matter of how long. J-Rod, he earns number 1. He's ridiculous. He's such a likable player too. Like, no one doesn't like Julio Rodriguez. His attitude seems so fun and so exciting. And if he hits a ceiling, I think he's going to take the world by storm. He's such a likable player. I cannot wait to see what he does at the major league level when he eventually gets there. All right, that's going to do it for my top 50 hitters only prospect list. Julio Rodriguez taking the number 1 spot. Well deserved. He's just awesome. Absolutely love J-Rod. 100% deserves that number 1 spot. I cannot wait to see him progress in the minors and eventually get to the major leagues. Like, I cannot wait for that. But yeah, that's going to do it. As always, if you like this video, please get a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you thought of my top 10. There were some bold predictions in this top 10, especially the 7 through 10 range. So let me know. Give me your honest feedback in the comments below. But thank you for watching as always, and you have a great rest of your day. See ya!